Welcome to the downtown studios of Cranford, New Jersey, here at the Commissioner's Cove. Alongside of me is my man, my Ace Boku, 13th Legion, and I am the Commissioner. Ricky let me down, where we come together and we give our fancy insight, fancy information, so you guys don't have to. So do me a favor, you guys sit back, relax, drink your little cafecito, smoke your little cigar, drink your little bourbon or your whiskey while you're listening to two distinguished gentlemen talk about fantasy football, which we enjoy to do. All right, this is week number 6. We do apologize for week number 5. We were a little busy. Our schedules conflicted. We were away and we couldn't get together. But we're back week number 6. Hopefully, we could bring our information, our insights to help you guys make your decisions for week number 6 and see how it goes for you guys. All right, how are you, sir? Thank you. Welcome.
Hey, I'm all right. I wish my fantasy teams were better.
Yeah, there's a lot of fantasy teams that are taking hits, a lot of hits out there, injuries, and some people are good. Some people are 4-0. I'm 5-0, 4-1. If you're on the cusp of 3-2, you're still in the playoff race. 2-3, you're still in the playoff race. 1-4, you really got to dig down deep and think about what you're going to do with your team. See if you're going to turn around, start trading off your assets if you're in a dynasty, or if you're in a redraft. You're still kind of in it in a way. Don't give up. Don't ever give up until
you can go on a nice 9-game win streak.
Exactly. So let's get down to the program and let's talk about week number 6. Thursday night game is coming up. It's the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Football Giants. 51 degrees is going to be clear. 6-mile-per-hour winds out of the northeast. And let's talk about the Giants. So news came out today that Slayton is not going to be playing with the hamstring injury on Thursday night. That kind of hurts their passing game. Scatterboo, is going to be featured more. I'm not sure if Tyrone Tracy is going to come back. Even if Tyrone Tracy does come back and you have him and he's an owner, I'm suggesting you do not play this individual. And you know what? I'm going to go on a limb here saying, I know Scatterboo is going to get the majority of catches and majority of the volume. This is a tough Philadelphia Eagles defense. If you have someone else who's viable and you could put him out there and start, I suggest you start him. Quarterback Jackson Dart is going to be running for his life this game. I'm not sure if he's going to be throwing a lot of passes this game. So what's your take on the Giants? Maybe Theo Johnson's probably the only one to start.
Well, you're doing all the talking. You took all the words out of my mouth. I was going to say Theo.
I'm on fire today. I'm on fire.
Yes, you're right. Darius Slayton's not going to play. Wandale's probably going to get a healthy dose of targets. Theo is. Maybe we see finally a little bit of Jalen Hyatt, even though that Jackson Dart got in his butt a little bit for not blocking for him. But I don't think they're going to be able to go out and get a wide receiver right now. I know there was rumor, Odell Beckham Jr. might be coming back.
Yeah, but he's got a suspension. So
yes, he does. He's got a 6-game suspension. So what would be the point of that? I don't know. The Giants are in a rough spot right now. This doesn't look like a bad game for Philly. And on Philly's side, Saquon came up with a little dinged up knee. They said it's no big deal, but I hate when they say it's no big deal because it's usually something.
Yeah.
But they might not need him that much. You might see a little bit more A.J. Dillon and Will Shipley. I think this is a game where they're going to be passing the ball a little bit more. I think you can do that with the Giants.
Okay, so you're saying start A.J. Brown,
Devontae Smith, Goddard,
and and the quarterback.
Well, I mean, there are some players that we just don't even have to worry about. Jalen Hurts is one of them. He's starting out there.
Exactly.
As far as running back wise, I think if Barkley does play, temper your expectations, they may be trying to give him some rest.
I don't know. He's coming back to New York. He did
that last year. He don't have nothing to prove this year.
I know. He's Super Bowl champ.
Yeah, and he destroyed them last year.
He sure did.
So there's nothing left to prove. It's over.
And you guys let him go for nothing. All right, let's move on to the next game on the docket here.
Tyreek.
All right. Denver Broncos versus the Jets.
Let's get the ugly New York teams out of the way.
All right, it's 58 degrees, 5-mile-per-hour winds. You don't have to worry about that out of the east with the kickers. Let's talk about the New York Jets, against the Denver Broncos. Listen, fantasy-wise, you still start Justin Fields because he gives you that rushing upside. He may throw. I'm talking about in the NFL real world, I don't think he's not a good quarterback, but in the fantasy world, he's a decent quarterback. He gives you a lot of points.
Yes, only in garbage time, though.
But he's always in garbage time. So you know what? I'm saying start him. Mr. Wilson's a must start, in my opinion, based on that Denver defense. But then again, you're facing Patrick Surtain, but he's still the number one out there. He's still going to get the volume, so you're going to start him with confidence. Mr. Breece Hall, do you temper expectations with Breece Hall with this defense coming up with Denver?
I think he's got the pass catching upside that pretty much saves his fantasy output for the day. So yeah, but I think you definitely start Breece Hall.
Yep. What about Mr. Mason Taylor? Are we streaming here, or is he coming out this year? What do you think about Mason Taylor? The audience wants, because there's some people that own stock in Mason Taylor. Is he a must? Is he starting to become a must start? He's getting a lot of targets the last 2 weeks. And his snap share is really increasing.
Listen, they've had big deficits the last 2 weeks, and they've had to come from behind. And this is part of the garbage time.
Yeah.
So I think the real question is Denver going to be able to put up enough points for the Jets to be in garbage time?
I think so.
And if that's the case, I don't think he's in must start territory yet. But yeah, he's definitely on the rise. And if he's getting 12, 11 targets a game, he's definitely, you have to put him out there. Again, Jets don't have a second wide receiver.
No, they don't.
So, essentially that's going to be Mason Taylor.
Exactly. That's good. You know what? If you don't have a tight end out there and Mason Taylor's on the waiver wire, put in a waiver claim for him to pick him up.
If he's still out there.
He's a good little good little streaming start right there. All right, with the Denver side. Listen, J.K. Dobbins is still a little gnat to R.J. Harvey's backside. Okay, he's going to be the starter. He gets the volume of the run plays. He's a must start. Sutton is a must start. Listen, Bo Nix has not been a superstar.
He hasn't been consistent.
He hasn't been consistent. Exactly. That's what I was about to say. He hasn't been consistent. If you have another quarterback, let's say, all right, Justin Fields, Bo Nix.
No, you have to put Bo Nix out there. He's still top 12.
If you have usually teams out there have two quarterbacks on their roster. Usually. Is that fair? Two teams. It's two quarterbacks out there, usually. What I'm saying is Bo Nix and someone like I said, Justin Fields. Who we starting here?
Bo Nix.
I don't know. I'm not.
Now, if you told me Bo Nix or Matthew Stafford, I'd say, all right, maybe Stafford. If you said Bo Nix or Jackson Dart this week, I would say Bo Nix. Think about this. Bo Nix or Aaron Rodgers?
It's tough.
Bo Nix or Kyler Murray?
Well, Kyle Murray. We'll talk about.
Come on, you're starting Bo Nix.
Well,
all right, you're starting Bo Nix.
I'm going to
say the Jets secondary's been a little banged up. Courtland Sutton's going to eat. The whole issue with Dobbins and Harvey, you're going to be dealing with that. Owners of Dobbins or Harvey's going to be dealing with that all year.
And even possibly
it's not going away.
Yeah, it's not going away.
So
you're sitting Ingram. He's not getting the volume out there. And Mr. Franklin.
He did get a touchdown last week.
Yeah, I don't care if he gets a touchdown. You're sitting Ingram if you have somebody else like a Mason Taylor or Ingram. I'm not starting Ingram. Franklin, I'm not starting Franklin. It may be a flex if you have nobody else, but Franklin's not going to be your wide receiver one at all. And Mr. Mims is, I don't know, he might be droppable.
The Jets linebacking core has been devastated, and I think they would be a sneaky play to play Ingram this week.
Okay. You say start him, I say sit him. All right, let's go to the next game. Write that down. Let's go to the next game, Arizona at Indianapolis with the Colts. Danny Nichols, Nichols.
Say it right.
No, I'm saying Danny Nichols. I'm sorry. He's having a great year so far, with your fantasy team. 56, it's in a dome. Doesn't matter what the weather is. Indianapolis is playing out of their minds right now. Jonathan Taylor, RB1. He is put him in there. Close your eyes. Don't worry about him. Pittman, you know what? Against Arizona's defense, what they did to giving up all those points to Tennessee last week, Pittman, I believe, is a must start. Mr. Downs is a street. I say he might be a little flex option if you have nobody else over there. And Mr. Warren, Tyler Warren is definitely a must start over there at the tight end position.
Yeah, Warren's had a touchdown the last two games, one catching and one running. Mm-hmm. So he's definitely involved in all kinds of aspects of that game. He's a lead blocker for Jonathan Taylor on a few plays. That's looks good there. I don't think they're going to – it's not going to be that competitive of a game if Arizona shows up the way they did last week against Tennessee.
You said they showed up. I don't know if they showed up. They They showed up in the
The
first
way
quarter.
the way they showed up.
I think that's all about coaching. Let's talk about Arizona. All right, you want to talk about Arizona because I'll just chime in.
Arizona's in disarray.
They sure are.
You know, for a team that started off good, last week they imploded. Gannon, their coach, gets fined by the league. He goes off on DeMarcado, which just made a stupid mistake by dropping a ball before he got in the end zone. But you can't do that on the sideline. And then on top of that, you come out in this press and say, hey, I was looking at the tape and we should have passed to Marvin Harrison more. I mean, no duh. You had a year and a half already to realize that.
I've been saying that forever. That is coaching. You give him 3 catches, 70-something yards in the first quarter. In the second quarter, 1 pass. That is coaching. So, in essence, all right, in my opinion, Marvin Harrison, you do start. All right, Trey McBride is trending on a down, but you will have to start him. He is a must start. Kyle Murray, listen, are we starting? Is he a must start now?
If that's your only quarterback on your team,
if you have 2
obviously,
quarterbacks,
but if you have 2 quarterbacks, like we said before,
yes.
I would start Bo Nix over Kyler Murray.
All right, I'll give you that one.
Right.
If you have Bo Nix and Kyle Murray, I'm starting Bo Nix.
Okay,
that's all right. That's
give me
a
another
fair.
quarterback. I'm going to tell you. I don't know. I don't trust Kyler Murray right now. And
I don't either.
Against a very hot Indianapolis team playing at home.
Yes.
And the Cardinals coming. I mean, listen, anything can happen within the week of preparation. But they were embarrassed last week, and I think it carries over to this week.
I did too. This might be the week where the coach gets fired. This might be it right now. So the running backs, Michael Carter, I think is going to be the RB1 over there as of now. DeMarcado, listen, I think he's in a doghouse. I don't think he gets much playing time. However, just to make up publicly or politically, in the fan base or not to make them look bad, he might go out there. And
well,
get some
listen,
burn.
honestly, we watched that game, and we didn't talk about this, but I thought DeMarcado looked better than Carter.
He is a better running back, and I just don't get what the coaching staff is doing. Yes, Carter had the volume. Yes, he had, but you give DeMarcado the ball more. I'm not saying. I don't know if he'll do better.
If he didn't make that stupid mistake, we'd be talking something completely different here right now.
He might say he might be starting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
DeMarcado's starting, and Carter's backing him up.
I totally agree with you. All you owners that own DeMarcado, do not drop him yet. Just hold on to him. Hold on to him. That's how I feel. Carter is going to get the start, but you hold on to DeMarcado. But he is not a start this week. Carter is the start this week. If you have him, you have no other running backs, because running backs are thin in the fantasy football world. They're starting to go down. They're thin, bye weeks, so he is a startable running back. The wide receiver, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison. The other wide receiver, Mr. Wilson, doesn't get enough volume. Zay Jones, I believe he's still probably hurt out there.
That goes back to Murray's problems right now. I mean, he goes back there. He has one read. He can't see over his line.
Nope.
He scrambles around. He'll take off more often than not. You're not going to get a lot of passing volume out of him. And I don't think that Indianapolis is that undisciplined of a team where he can run around and just make plays happen. It's just not going to happen this week.
But the good thing about hopefully that Indianapolis will be up by a ton of points and they would have to pass more, which bides well for.
Yes, we're talking about 2 different things: real football and fantasy football. Yeah. So you're right.
Wow, that's all we care about is fantasy on this show. That's all we care about.
Yeah.
I could care less who wins or loses. I just want to know if Indianapolis is going to be
rough.
up. If Indianapolis,
you just care if you win or lose.
No, if you guys win or lose, that's all we care about. Indianapolis is going to be up, and they're going to be passing the ball from behind. That's all I care about. I could care less who wins and who loses. All right, let's move on to the next game. My bum, Miami Dolphins. Mm-hmm. Horrendous.
You got rid of all the bad teams up front.
Well, Miami, they're playing. The Chargers are playing Miami in Miami. 80.
This is going to be an interesting game for you.
It's not going to be an interesting game. Stop. It's not going to be an interesting game. It's not going to be Tua versus Herbert. It's not. It's been years now. It's been years. Okay? The Miami team as a whole is terrible. Their defense is horrendous. Horrendous. Okay? Everything doesn't fall on Tua's back. It doesn't fall on his arm. Not everything does, because they can't stop. They gave Rico Dodell 200-something yards rushing. That's not on Tua. That's on the defense. But we're not here for that. Let's talk about the fancy implications here. 83 degrees, slight chance of thunderstorms, 32% chance of rain, 6 mile per hour winds out of the northeast. So that means, to me, if it does rain, I'm looking at that look at the weather. Game time, you're not going to start any kickers over there. All right, Dicker, if you want to start him, start him. But you know what? I don't want to hear that, you told me to start Dicker Baker, and he missed three.
I think it's too early in the week to talk about the weather. Just everybody check your weather before that.
All right, that's what it's saying here. That's what it's showcasing. Miami. Achane is definitely a guy you're going to be starting. Okay, Waddle, you're going to be starting. Tua, listen, he gave you 27 points last week. I believe he did well. He did very well. Okay, he did very well. Depending on the weather, see how it goes. It might be the same thing. Chargers defense, linebackers a little bit better. That I don't say start Malik Washington. I'm gonna talk about Miami. You could talk about your Chargers. All right. Washington, I don't think you start out there. And Mr. Waller. Mr. Waller's becoming top 5 tight end.
Top 5
Yeah, I'm thinking he's becoming a top 5 tight end. He had 2 great weeks. He's got 3 touchdowns in 2 games. Waller is a focal point of Tua's of this offense. It's Waddle, Waller, nobody else, and the running back. That's my opinion. You can talk about the Chargers. Go ahead.
Listen, the Dolphins, who have been a sieve for opposing running backs, they get a break because Hampton's on an IR and they won't have to face him. And Haskins and Vidal aren't exactly of the same caliber.
They're slow.
I hope you guys can stop them. But yeah, I don't think I would start either one of them unless you're desperate for a flex. I think it's if a team needs I'm going to say weak opponent. There are no, weak opponents in the NFL. But if the team ever needed a weaker opponent, it's the Chargers, who had lost the last 2. But they lost to a weak opponent, the Giants, 2 weeks ago. So this isn't going to be a cakewalk. You are flying over to Miami. Herbert's running for his life in the backfield because they have no offensive linemen. They're all hurt. This is going to be an interesting game. Herbert might, you're obviously starting Herbert, but I still think you got to start him and temper your expectations. Keenan Allen might be the guy that gets the most love out of this game from him, because I think he's going to need to get more of those quick passes out. And without Hampton to rely on, it's going to be Keenan Allen. It's going to be Ladd McConkey. I don't know if he's going to have enough time for the deep passes to QJ, but I'm looking more for Keenan and
That's fair.
And McConkey this game. Temper your expectations with Johnson and the running backs.
All right, that's fair. Miami has 2 good pass rushers, so if their offensive linemen are out with the Chargers, they might get some more pressure on them. But that means he has a tendency of this year of taking off and running, which is good for fantasy owners for Herbert. All right.
It's good and bad at the same time. You don't want your guy out there risking injury for it.
No, he's had injuries in the past. We all understand that.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next game. Cleveland at Pittsburgh. All right, slight chance of rain as of now. 5-mile-per-hour winds out of northeast. Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers against this defense. I'm not starting Aaron Rodgers against this defense. I'm just not doing it. DK Metcalf, you better temper expectations with him. He's all you have. Obviously, you're going to put him out there because there might be a chance of a nice throw, maybe a red zone touchdown. All right, the tight end. Is this the week that the tight ends get a little love over here with the Steelers? Are we starting Jonnu Smith or Pat Freiermuth?
I think if you are, you're not expecting much out of them.
No, you're not. Warren possibly comes back. We don't have any injury updates on his knee. I think his knee is going to be fine. I don't know if they might be splitting him and Gainwell.
Of course they are.
The pass catching maybe geared towards maybe Warren more because he excels in pass catching a little bit more. It's going to be tough. Are we starting the 2 running backs here against Cleveland Browns here?
As we said, Cleveland has a pretty good defense. It might be a very low-scoring game.
Yeah.
If I expect Warren to play, I mean, he didn't have a serious knee injury to begin with, and I think he's going to be splitting with Gainwell. That's Arthur Smith. Don't expect one running back to get the ball. I agree with Metcalf. Temper your expectations, and definitely Aaron Rodgers is not a start this week.
Yeah, I say you said start. You said Rodgers as well.
And on the other side of the ball, you got a rookie.
He looked decent last week. He looked okay
against a Pittsburgh defense that has a week off, that had a week off, that has now a chance to prepare for them, and a little healthier and actually getting better defensively. So I don't know. I think Cleveland's going to have a rough time. I don't know if Jenkins gets 100 yards this week.
But he is a must start though.
Oh yeah, he's a must start. Temper your expectations.
Yeah.
I think with the wide receivers.
No.
I think you're going to see a lot more of what you saw last week. A lot of the tight ends being involved in Njoku and Fannin.
Yep.
Jerry Jeudy, I don't know, unless they get him short screen passes. I don't know if Dylan's going to have enough time to look down the field.
Yeah.
I think Pittsburgh's going to take advantage of the fact that he's a rookie, and I think they're going to do exotic blitzes or something like that, and they're going to rattle the kid. That's their goal.
Well,
don't forget also he's not a very tall guy,
right.
So they're going to try to clog up those lanes.
Right, that's what Minnesota tried to do, and he excelled with rolling out. And I think like you said, the tight ends are the ones to start here. Njoku and Fannin, the wide receivers are the ones that, if you're going to start, you better super temper your expectations with Jerry Jeudy and Isaiah Bond.
I agree, but listen, this is exactly what I meant by Pittsburgh's got a week to prepare. You already know so you have the film to watch against the Minnesota game. We know what Minnesota tried to do, and we know what Dylan did do in that game to get out. Right, Pittsburgh's going to try to contain that, and what he did do to make him less successful. That's why I said it's going to be a kind of a low scoring game, and it's going to be rough for Dylan.
All right, we'll see. Dylan Gabriel, if you have nobody else, if you're injured at quarterback, you're going to have to temper expectations, but if you have to start him out there, again, temper that. All right, next game on the docket is the Cowboys at the Carolina Panthers. In Carolina, so the Carolina Panthers here. Wow. Are we getting... Is it becoming a split in the backfield now, or Rico Dodell and Chuba Hubbard? Is this the famous, the infamous splitting of the running backs again?
All right, I'm going to say this one last time because I don't like repeating myself. Mm-hmm. The days of having a bell cow running back, Commissioner, they're not around, all right? You might get one or two guys, special guys like a Saquon or McCaffrey, but that is not what NFL teams want to do, all right? Don't forget, the reason why Chuba was such a bell cow, a couple of reasons. One, Jonathan Brooks hurt his knee again, all right? And secondly, Dowdell was hurt in the beginning of the year, so Chuba had no problem, had no choice.
Well, last year he did well.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But yes, after how Dowdell performed, if Chuba plays this week, still he's dealing with the calf injury,
right.
Unless it's something I don't know.
Right.
But if they are both healthy and they're playing, they're gonna spell each other.
Okay, so
if all things being equal, I will say this: Chuba's the A1, 1A to Dowdell 1B.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Are you happy?
Not really.
Oh.
All right. So it is what it is. So I guess you're gonna have to, if they both play, you're gonna have to put them out there, but don't expect bell cow numbers. Okay. Wide receiver Tedero McMillan, the rookie, is still finding his way. He's doing pretty well. Okay. He is a start because Dallas's secondary is kind of beat up, and
The only thing Ted does not have
is a touchdown.
touchdowns.
Yeah, he will. He's going to come.
I know
up.
it's coming.
He's
but
coming. The tight ends you don't start. Tremble and
I don't know.
No?
He likes passing to his tight
Yeah,
ends.
he does. He didn't pass last week to his tight end.
Because you picked him up.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
you dropped him, so that means he's going to get a touchdown.
He's not.
Oh, yeah.
All right, don't start.
Treble touchdown.
Okay, don't start your tight ends. Don't do it. All right, because I don't think they're gonna not get enough volume. If they get a touchdown, oh well, just one, but they're not gonna get the volume. All right, the running backs you start. Okay, temper your expectations. Tedero McMillan, listen, he's still a rookie, he's still finding his way. I think he's gonna be fine later on in the year, but you're not gonna get Abuka numbers out there. Xavier Legette, are we starting Xavier Legette?
I think you can. I think you can him as a wide receiver 3 or even a flex. I think this is going to be one of those games where Carolina's going to be catching up with points. It might be a lot of, again, garbage time points here. Dallas has looked good the last few weeks. They've been putting up a lot of points. I think that this is one of those games where Carolina's going to have to be constantly fighting back. So I say yes to Legette.
All right. On the Dallas side of the ball?
Dak is a must start. Mm-hmm. Pickens is a must start. Javonte Williams is a must start. Jaden Blue, with all the talk of him finally getting a game, really didn't do anything with it.
Ferguson's a must start.
Ferguson's definitely a must start. I think he has 20 more receptions than the next tight end in the league.
He's a tight end 1. That's what he is coming into the league.
Yes, well, he is the tight end 1 this year. So.
What about the other?
For all the talk about Tolbert and anyone else in the wide receiver core, it's really Ferguson and Pickens right now.
Yeah, are we starting that sneaky little link over there with Flournoy? What is his last name?
Flournoy?
Flournoy. or is just a 1 week wonder type of thing? Because
No, I wouldn't trust that.
yeah, neither would I. I wouldn't start him.
I would trust Leggett over Flournoy.
Yep. All right, next game is going to be Seahawks at the Jaguars. Jaguars are very hot. Wow. They're playing some expired.
No. Their defense is hot because
So when you say their team, when you say defense is part of the team. Jaguars, hear me out, are hot. They're 4-1.
Okay.
You can, Bill Parcells said it one time. You are what your record says you are. They are 4-1.
yes, there's 3 parts to a
Exactly.
team. You got your offense, defense, and special teams.
It doesn't
and one part of that can carry a team for a stretch of points through a stretch of time. All I'm saying is their defense is carrying them.
They're 4-1. They're hot. Trevor Lawrence was
whatever.
hot. Trevor Lawrence was hot. Rushing, 2 touchdowns. I know it's one game. Is this part of his game now? Is it going forward? You know, Trevor Lawrence against the Seahawks. Seahawks not the Legion of Boom like they were back in the day. I think Trevor Lawrence is a must start. Okay? I do. I feel as though he should be a must start.
Well, of course, he's a must start.
You know?
I'm just saying that they still haven't put it together yet on offense.
Well, that's
Don't forget.
because your boy beat Brian Thomas Jr. is not getting the ball much.
No, he is. He led the team in targets, led the teams in receptions, and led the team in yards. The passing volume isn't there, and that's my point. Last week, their defense won that game for them. All right, anyone saw it. I mean, Devin Lloyd ran the ball back.
You done?
Are you done?
No.
I want you to see things for what they are.
I see it.
Their offense hasn't clicked yet. They're a running team.
We're
right
talking
now.
about fantasy, who we starting, who we sitting.
All right, well then go ahead with your
Okay.
prognostications.
BTJ, okay?
What are you doing? You're going to sit him?
You're not sitting him,
Oh.
but you're not getting those numbers that you expect from him. You're going to start him.
You're
It's almost like
absolutely
Harrison.
right. He has yet to cover
It's
the projected
5
points.
weeks now. 5 weeks.
Okay.
5 weeks, this guy you're waiting for.
Yep. That's true.
He's almost
You're proving my point. You just proved my point. You're complaining about BTJ. Who's the only guy in the offense that's been performing?
You know who I think is coming up
Who's
now?
the only guy in the offense that's been performing?
I'm going to explain. You know who I think is coming up right now? I really do think who's coming up right now is, believe it or not, Travis Hunter is starting to get more love right now. I think that he's starting to get more volume. That's what I think. I think he's starting to get acclimated to the offense. I think Travis Hunter is going to start eating a little bit more.
Okay.
All right?
You
Travis,
didn't answer my question.
you asked me who.
Who is the only guy performing on that offense
Travis
right now?
ATM.
That's it. That's all you need to know right
Yeah.
now. Okay.
ATM, the tight end. If you don't know, which I'm sure you guys do know, Brendan Strange is on IR. So they're running. The other tight end is going to be Mr. Hunter. I'm sorry, Mr. Long is going to be the other tight end, and Monday it's going to come in. So I think that the wide receivers are going to get the ball a little bit more. Okay, this might be the week that Brian Thomas Jr. does do well because he doesn't feature the tight ends this week.
Well,
I think so.
If that is the case, they're going off. They're going against Seattle at the right time because
They're missing Julian
Reek
Love.
Woolen isn't there. Love has been banged up a little bit.
Yeah.
They got a rookie in Umanuri out there who hasn't played a ton of lot. So if there was a chance to go deep this week,
This is it.
this is it. And they faced a similar type of offense from Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Don't forget who Liam Cohen
Yeah.
was with Tampa Bay last year. So they have similar offenses, same type of offense.
I think-
And they're on the road, Seattle, across country.
Yeah. All right, with the Seattle Seahawks. Again, I'm not going to get into the split. We all understand Kenny Walker and Charbonnet. If you do have either or, you're going to start either or. Okay. The wide receiver, listen, Justice Smith, Najigba JSN is outstanding. He's a put him in. Don't even worry about him.
Yeah, and for anyone who might have had trepidations of Sam Darnold saying he may not have been worth it or he wasn't going to do well after leaving
doing well,
Minnesota, I
yeah.
think he's doing great.
Yeah, he's a must start. And then the other one, the tight end, is starting to come about. We talked about this.
AJ Barner?
AJ Barner is possibly their probably second read. It's going to be
No.
Jason. Who do you think is second read?
I think Cooper Kupp is still their second read, but I think
In
AJ
the red
Barner
zone?
is their third read. Oh well, now you
Well,
it's
I'm talking-
different.
well, I'm
now you didn't say you were talking the red zone.
Let's talk about fantasy wise. Fantasy wise, like I've said before, I am not starting Cooper Kupp. If I'm looking for points in the red zone or whatever it is, AJ Barner has 3 touchdowns in 2 games. If you're going to take a chance, who are you going to start?
That's not what you said. All right. That's
All
not
right.
what you. That wasn't the premise of your question.
All right.
You said who's the second read?
I'm thinking Barner is the second read. That's where I'm going on. You can write that down. Write that down.
I'm not going to write it down.
Okay. How many touchdowns does Cooper Kupp have this year?
Listen, that is not the point. That's not the point.
Okay.
If we were talking about tight ends, you say AJ Barner. I'm not saying second read. Oh, you got to go AJ Barner. This is the second read. That was the second. You asked a simple question. I gave you a simple answer.
Are you starting Cooper Kupp?
No.
Sitting him. Are you starting AJ Barner over Cooper Kupp?
But we're not talking that.
I'm just asking you a question. That's all I'm
Listen,
asking.
do they play the same position?
I'm asking you.
Do they play the same
No.
position?
Who are you starting?
So if I'm not going to compare apples to oranges here, I'm going to compare oranges to oranges.
Who are you starting? Who would you start? Cooper Kupp or AJ Barner?
If I needed a tight end to start, I would. If I had anything better than AJ Barner, I would start them. But if not, I could do worse than AJ Barner.
Who would you start, Barner or Kupp?
I'm not going to answer that question. It's
Okay,
not.
let's
It's
move
not
on.
a fair question.
Let's move on. I would start Barner over Kupp. That's what I'm saying. Let's move on.
Okay, obviously, but that's not the question.
Then you could say you just said you weren't answering, but you just said obviously, so your answer is yes. All right, let's move on. All right, we agree to disagree. That's okay. The Rams at the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, the Ravens.
No, let's go back to Seattle real quick. We don't give enough attention to other players here. It's obvious you're playing Jackson Smith and the Jigba. You're going to play AJ Barner because he's hot. But I mean, a lot of players don't have. A lot of owners don't have those guys on the team. So, is there anyone else on Seattle that you might start on a flex position? Maybe
I'm not starting Cooper Kupp in the flex.
Torrey Horton.
I don't know. I'm not putting him out there in the flex for me. Not yet.
I would suggest you take a look to see what that matchup looks like, and if you could do worse than Torrey Horton, who, by the way, is fast becoming a waiver wire pickup.
Yes, but I'm not starting him yet. That's all I'm saying. Not yet for me.
I think there were some people. If some owners started him last week, they certainly won their games with him.
All right. If you guys have Torrey Horton, start him and
All
let
I'm
me know.
saying is that there are other guys.
That's fair. That's a fair point. But if you have Torrey Horton and you start him and you win, put it in the comments and I want to see it. And say that Torrey Horton won you the game.
That's right.
All right. Let's move on. All right. Ravens at LA Rams. All right. Ravens. Can we move on?
Are they in shambles?
Horrendous. Listen, it's 56 degrees in Baltimore, chance of rain. Check your weather report, 11 mile per hour winds over there as of now on Wednesday. Is King Henry, is he diminishing here? What are we doing with King Henry? It's sad.
Obviously, not having Lamar out there is affecting a lot of players on this team.
Yeah, but all right. I mean, let's say we have to win. Let's say you're 2-3. Your team is 2-3. You have King Henry. Obviously, you're going to put him out because you have nobody else. But wow.
Well, that's a big temper expectation.
That's what I'm
right
about to
there.
say. Is this the first time we've ever said, coming out of our lips?
No.
Our lips
That's
to
not
say,
the first
well,
time.
to say King Henry temper expectations with him. We've never said that. We've never said that in all the shows we've done. We've never said temper expectations with King Henry. Is this the week we're saying temper expectations with King Henry?
Yes, I think we are.
It's the first time.
First of all, the Rams have a decent
do.
defense.
Yeah, they do. All right, who else? What are we doing with Zay Flowers?
You have to start him.
Yeah, you got to start him. Well, are we starting
I
Bateman?
think he's the only wide receiver that you can start
Yeah.
with any confidence. You can't trust Bateman. I think he had 4 targets last week, no catches.
It's
DeAndre Hopkins, nothing.
What about Andrews? What are we doing with Mark Andrews? I mean, we got to start him, right? Temper expectation.
I don't know. If I had AJ Burner,
There you go.
I would start him
too.
over
Andrews.
Andrews.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we got to start him if you have nobody else. The tight end room for a lot of people is very thin with injuries and stuff. So if you have them, throw them out there and pray to the fantasy gods. Okay, the Rams. Wow, Matthew Stafford is hot, man. This Baltimore defense is decimated by a lot of injuries.
Yes.
I think this might be the time where they maybe run the ball with the running backs. I mean.
They might, but my prediction in this game is I think you're going to see Devontae Adams have a big game.
Yeah. You know,
Not so
I
much
agree with you.
Nakua this week. I think it's going to be Adams.
Yeah, so do I. I think Adams is going to eat. Nakua, obviously, low. He's a wide receiver 1. You put him out there with no problem. The tight end, you temper expectations with the tight end if you really need one. Higbee isn't doing nothing. Parkinson, you don't even look at. You're not putting him on your starting lineup. Not even a flex. Not even a streamer. You know, leave him on the waiver wire. And then the running backs, Kyron Williams, I think, eats. And Blake Corum, if you have nobody else decimated by injuries, Blake Corum, somebody's going to give you some points so you can put him out there. All right. That's who you have on the Rams. And Matthew Stafford, man, he's playing hot. Matthew Stafford, the old man's doing his thing out there. So I think Matthew Stafford is a must start as well. Agree? Disagree?
I agree.
All right. Patriots versus the Saints. All right. They're not the Aints anymore because they won last week. All right. They're the Saints. All right. S stands for Savior. I'm only kidding. So, the Saints. Are we starting Spencer Rattler here? The New England Patriots defense is pretty well. They're pretty good, man. Spencer Rattler. What are we doing with Spencer Rattler? Is he a must start, Spencer Rattler? They got Gonzalez back.
Oh, listen, obviously in 2 quarterback leagues, he's a must start. In 1 quarterback leagues, if you don't have any better option.
Kyle Murray starting over Rattler.
I would even say Kyler Murray over Rattler,
me
yes.
too. Yeah, so same.
Well, with the Saints, you know, you still have Kamara. I think that what they're going to do is they're going to keep showcasing Kamara until the trade deadline.
Yes, I do too.
So temper your expectations with Kendrick Miller. I think they already know what they have in him, and they're not going to risk injury. Olave, you throw out there. Shaheed, is he going to get deep? I think he has got another game in him that he could get deep, only because I expect Christian Gonzalez to be with Olave. Yes,
that's fair. What about the tight ends? What are we doing with
Taysom Hill screwed everything up.
Yeah,
he came back, and
Juwan Johnson's went back to relegate to like a tight end number 2 or 3 or something. You know, he's not getting the volume that he did the first couple of weeks. Should have sold him high if you had him. Otherwise, his stock is down.
Yep.
Okay. All right, with the Saints. Wow, Stephon Diggs really came out. All right. Speaking about Stephon Diggs, right on cue, right behind me, Stephon Diggs is on the television. There he is. Stephon Diggs, he absolutely had a monster game last week. You know, Drake May fed him. I think he feeds him again. You know, I think he finally came about and he needed that one. He's going to feed him all day.
Oh yeah, I think that this game did a lot to build their rapport and confidence together. Some of those throws, you know, saved Drake May. Stephon, those catches saved Drake May's throws. But I know he didn't have a throwing touchdown. Drake May did, but he did good with Stephon. So
yep.
I expect more of the same. You're right. He's been desperate for a wide receiver 1. I think he finally found one.
Yep. Hunter Henry. We're starting Hunter Henry.
Well, you see, this is what we said a couple weeks ago with Hunter Henry. He had a real great game.
One game.
But we were talking about not having a wide receiver to throw the ball to. Now I think with Diggs' emergence, Hunter Henry's kind of like a second or third option in that pass game.
I agree. All right, so everyone should know that Antonio Gibson went out. He's out for the year. So wow, is this the time? Is this it?
Yes, I think
with Travion Henderson.
Hendo's going to get more burn.
Yes,
he's not going to be the only guy getting the burn.
No, they're going to split.
They're different, and it's not more than anything, in my opinion, than the types of backs that they are. Mm-hmm. Stevenson's more of a beefy guy. He can run up the middle. They were always worried about Henderson doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. Not to say that he can't. It's just that they have a role in mind for him, and it's not running up the middle.
That's fair. But you do start. I think this is the week you start Henderson with confidence, as well as Ramadre, believe it or not. I think Ramadre still is the goal line back.
Yeah, I think what you have to worry about Ramadre is he doesn't lose a fumble.
Even if he loses a fumble, I still think they bring him right back out, which frustrates a lot of us owners who own Ramadre. Right.
Doesn't frustrate. How does it frustrate an owner who owns Ramadre if they keep rolling him back out there? That shows confidence.
No. Other people, that own Henderson is what I mean.
Oh, yes.
Because, when you sit there and say, this guy's fumbled numerous times, put Henderson out there and they still don't do it. All right, let's move on to Tennessee versus the Raiders. Oh, my God. It's team after team after team after team. I don't know what it is with the theme with 2025, but there's some ugly football teams out here, man. There's some ugly football teams, and the Raiders are one of them. Again, with the Raiders. Geno Smith looks lost.
I think that
He is lost.
there are some ugly teams out there, but I think they're obviously dealing with, listen, if we take, all right, obviously you started with the Raiders. To me, they're in a transition period, right? They have a rookie running back, which shouldn't mean anything, but the Geno not performing well is the problem. And we can go back and we discussed this a couple weeks ago about bad offensive line play. There are a lot of bad offensive lines in football. And the Raiders own one, which hampers not only Gentry but Geno. But is Geno making smart decisions?
No.
9
touchdowns. I'm sorry, 9 interceptions.
Yeah.
In 5 games. Come on, what are we doing here?
It's not just the line. You have to blame the quarterback at some point also.
I agree. So what are we doing with the Raiders here? The mustard, Brock Bowers. We don't know if he's going to play again this week. I don't know about the knee. I mean, they can't keep putting this franchise tight end out there and risk him.
You say we talked about. I spoke to you about this. They should have put him on IR.
Yes, they should have.
By this time, he would have been off of IR and maybe gotten back to his normal Brock Bowers self.
Yep.
But I have no idea why.
They're trying to win games.
Simply
and
a decoy isn't going to do it, and you're risking having more injuries. I'm sure they didn't put him out there because they knew that no matter what happened, he wouldn't get a worse injury from what he already had. But I don't buy that. I say you rest him. You should have rested him. You're putting the kid's career in jeopardy by throwing him out there. And for what? You guys still aren't winning any games.
Agree. Myers, what are we doing with a 1-4 record? Myers is not getting the volume out there. It seems as though, they put Jack Besh in there, their second round pick of last year's draft, or this year's draft just passed. They put him out there, I believe, 40% snap share or maybe 50% snap share, and he kind of bit into Deontay Thornton's role out there. I guess are they transitioning where I know we're not starting Bash, we're not starting Thornton. The only one probably to start here will be Trey Tucker out there and
Jacoby Myers
and Jacoby. I guess you got to put him out there. But
you just spoke about 2 rookie wide receivers in Thornton and Bash. But you can't rely on them. You still need some veteran leadership. Much to your frustration, because I know you have Bash, but it's going to be Jacoby Myers.
Okay, Jacoby Myers is not getting the volume out there. If you have another starting wide receiver, someone that you could plug and play, Jacoby Myers is just not doing it. It's almost like a Calvin Ridley. He's frustrated you for 4 weeks and he blew up for 1. So if you want to put Jacoby Myers out there, they got to throw the ball to somebody.
Yes. Well, the question is the team that they're playing against going to be one of those teams that you can throw the ball to Jacoby Myers?
You can. Tennessee Titans, you can.
You throw them out there. Don't forget what happened deep with in the first quarter, at least, with Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
So they did have some success there. So I think you can throw the ball to Jacoby Myers. I think this might be a better game for Geno Smith.
All right, that's fair. Geno, you said. He's just.
Yeah, if you have anything better, then I'd say start, sit Geno.
Yeah, he's not startable. Next game is going to be 49ers at the Buccaneers. All right.
We're just going to go right over Tennessee starters, huh?
Well, I forgot all about them.
Forget about them, right?
All about them. I kind of looked ahead. All right, because I was so engrossed with Geno Smith's poor play.
Listen, we're talking about poor play. We're talking about another reason why there's a lot of bad teams out there dealing with. In this instance, we're dealing with a rookie quarterback. You're going to expect growing pains, right?
Yeah.
He did finally have a comeback game when he finally connected with Ridley downfield. I think 130 yards, and still Ridley had a couple of drops, But that connection I think would be interesting going forward. Are the Raiders the type of team that Cam Ward can build upon and maybe get better?
They have a good pass rush.
They do. Cam Ward can scramble a little bit, so he can maybe get out of the pocket. And maybe Aya Manor. I think Ridley deserves another shot out there.
Yeah.
Especially after last week's game.
I do too.
Ogonkwo, the tight end. I don't know if I would trust the start, but right now I don't trust their playmakers that good. But they were building on something last week, and let's see if they can continue. This week.
What about Pollard? What are we doing? Him and Tyjae Spears are splitting carries. Obviously, you're going to have to start Pollard.
Yes, start Pollard.
But Pollard's starting to lose some traction here in a way. He gets the volume, yes, but it's not really doing much with this offense. All right, so you do start him against the Rays because the Rays defense not their pass rush is pretty well, but their pass run defense is not 100%. Is not that great. So you do start with Pollard. All right, next game, 49ers at Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are they're clicking. They're clicking on all cylinders here. Baker Mayfield is a must-start. Ibuka is a star. All right, Chris Godwin. Are we tempering expectation with Chris Godwin? Even with him on the field with Ibuka was the number one. Chris Godwin is on, what did he get, 4 or 5 targets last week?
Well, you have to put Godwin out there because of experience and the fact that they're so bereft of wide receiver help. But yeah, I think if Mike Evans was not injured and he was out there, I don't think you would see as much of Chris Godwin yet.
All right.
But yeah, temper your expectations with Chris Godwin.
Yeah, Rachaad White, he is a must start. He gets
Yes.
he gets pretty much a majority of catches out the backfield and the goal line as well. He looked pretty decent as well. And the tight end, Cade Otton. If you have a little bit better tight end, I suggest you start him. He doesn't get the volume out there, in my opinion. I'm sure the co-commissioners got the same thought process. All right, let's talk about
Or I would definitely start A.J. Barner.
Yes, I would start A.J. Barner over him. All right, 49ers. Wow, Mac Jones. Listen, he's almost in must-start category. You know,
I'd start him over Kyler Murray.
Yes, I would start Matt Jones over Kyle Murray. If the wide receivers aren't playing, obviously everyone saw the game last week. Kendrick Bourne, he has a relationship with Kendrick Bourne. He is if Pierce Hall doesn't play, I think Kendrick Bourne is a must start again because this game is going to go back and forth with the aerial assault.
Yes.
You put in McCaffrey, forget about him.
That's right.
You start Tonjes out there without Kittle, but Kittle's slowly but surely going to be coming back pretty soon. So, you know what? Try to sell high.
Time for Tonjes is soon to be over.
It's soon to be over. So, I'm not sure if Jenny's going to be playing this week or not, but if he is playing, you know, I still think with that injury, the risk.
I think any wide receiver that might come back this week for San Fran, I think
they should hold him one more week out.
Well, I'm just saying that you're right about the fact that they might be chasing points. Mm-hmm. So this might be one of those games where you see a lot of wide receiver points.
Yep. All right, that's all we have over there for that game. All right, the Bengals versus the Packers. All right, Smoking Joe Flacco got traded to the Cincinnati Bengals. You know, I love saying that. You know, Smoking Joe. I'm going to miss Smoking Joe. So Smoking Joe Flacco is with the Bengals now. Listen, that helps out fancy-wise, all right? And in my opinion, it does. It helps out Chase Brown, because Smoking Joe loves to throw to his running backs. He really does. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, his offensive line is great, you know, because it's still in shambles. However, you know, maybe pull him out. And I think they fear but Packers defense is pretty good. I think they fear the long ball. So the linebackers might move off a little bit more. And Chase Brown, I think he's a must start in this game. All right. Who else?
Well, I think if you had Chase Brown, you were starting him every game, no matter if you
you were let down.
How bad you definitely would let down. But I think you have to start him. Joe Flacco.
You don't start Joe Flacco.
I wouldn't start him this week against a pretty good Packer defense who also had a week off.
Fresh. They're fresh.
Fresh more than anything else. I mean, they didn't have time to prepare. But didn't Joe Flacco beat him earlier this year?
Yeah, but but that it goes back to your saying. Did Joe Flacco beat him, or was it the Cleveland's defense that beat him?
You're right.
Oh, it was the defense.
Right. Well, we know the Bengals don't have the defense of Cleveland.
So it goes back to your argument with the Jaguars. So yeah, it wasn't Smoking Joe. It was the defense. We're talking about fancy-wise here. I think Smoking Joe, it helps out Chase, Higgins, and Brown.
Yes, I think.
And I think their stock are rising. They're must-starts.
Well, this definitely is a savior compared to Browning, despite some people out there that, you know, like to give Browning a lot of credit for what he did. Yeah, we know
who you are.
2 years ago. But that was 2 years ago. People can devolve and not evolve. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I think Flacco brings a lot of positivity back to Cincinnati, who, if they keep losing, they didn't even have a chance for a playoff. But at least this gives them some hope. And, so that's it. I agree with everyone that you just said to start. On the Packers side, I think you're starting Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love. I think the Bengals defense hasn't shown up. Although they did all right last week.
They got tired.
Yes, they
were
did.
tired. They were tired. I think they run the ball.
I thought there was. I remember sitting and watching the game with you. I said they came to play and the offense didn't. And if I would be more upset about the offense more than anything, is that a prediction on things to come? The way they played, I don't know. We'll see.
No, it's not a prediction, in my opinion. No.
So did the Packers in their week off figure out their offense? That's the question in this game.
All right,
we're going to have to come see. This game is going to show whether or not they did.
That's a good question.
You know, did they come to the realization of who their number one wide receiver they was going to be in the pecking order?
No.
Did they come to the realization of who was going to be number two? The tight end, is Tucker Kraft going to be disappearing because his passing percentages has gone down every week since that big 125 yard game. Which is it? You switch up every week. It's hard to be consistent if you're not consistent. The players on the field don't know exactly what's going on.
And don't forget, Mr. Watson's coming back. All right, I'm not sure if he plays this game, but it definitely will open things up underneath. So I think Romeo Doubs is a must start in this game.
Now here's a question: Christian Watson has always been their deep guy, but what role did Matthew Golden have?
I don't know. Again, if you're asking me who to start in this game, is going to be Josh Jacobs. I think Romeo Doubs is still the number one. Tucker Kraft, obviously, he's a starting.
I think you have to start him.
You have to start him.
Yes.
You have to start him. You put him out there and hope he gives you 10, 15. Hope he gives you 15 points. Thank the Lord for that 15 points. But you're going to have to start him. But I think Romeo Doubs still is number one. I think he feels more comfortable.
So we got some questions that let's see if we answer. Is Cincy's defense finally taking a step up? Did the Packers offense finally, get their act together and figure out who's going to be their number ones and twos and stuff like that? We'll see.
All right, we'll see. But those who are...
And will Smoking Joe Flacco...
Smoking Joe. I love him.
Rising tide raises all boats.
We'll see. I think he's gonna do well. I think he's gonna feed Jamar Chase. I think Chase is gonna be, in my opinion, Chase is gonna be back. Or you Chase drafters, I think you guys are gonna be very happy with Smoking Joe Flacco. I really do. He airs it out. He's not afraid to throw it, and he does lock in on number one a lot. Look what he did with Jerry Jeudy for the last couple of weeks. I guess last year or a couple of years ago. All right, let's move on to the next game. Detroit versus Kansas City. Wow, this. Slight chance of thunderstorm over here, 69 degrees in Kansas City. All right, at this time, please check the weather again, like we always say. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes is playing out of his mind. He's playing very good, inspiring football for fantasy owners. He really is. He's going. It's almost like I remember when you drafted Patrick Mahomes year after year. This is what you drafted Patrick Mahomes for. You're expecting 25, 30 points from this guy, and he's giving it to you.
Yeah, I know.
He is giving it to you now.
Yeah, and with a patchwork wide receiver core.
Yeah,
really.
He's running the ball. He's throwing he's doing well. His awareness is phenomenal.
And it's not just Kelsey.
No, I think Patrick Mahomes is a must start. The running backs. Listen,
that's what they have to figure out.
Running back. So if you're going to start anybody, listen, I'm a Pacheco owner. The one I'm starting there is Kareem Hunt. That's who I'm starting. I sit Pacheco every week. I'm not starting Pacheco unless I have to because of a bye. All right, because in the goal line, like everyone else, if they own Pacheco and you watch the game, you see in the goal line, Pacheco looks at the sideline and he takes off and Kareem Hunt comes in the game. He's not getting any goal line carries. It's Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, and right now, Pacheco doesn't have the juice or the lanes to actually get a big runoff to get a touchdown. So unless you get one of those, you're right. Kareem Hunt's coming in the goal line, and that's it. And now you introduce Brashard Smith into the passing game. I don't know. I think the time to sell high in Pacheco is past.
It's past. The window's over. You just gotta hope that he does well. And when he's in the game, and you decide to call his number, and you bring in the lefty, and he comes into the game, and he gives you something. Just pray. Just say thank you.
Well, I don't think this is going to be the week. It doesn't look like you'd be hard pressed to be this would be the game where he comes out and does something, not against Detroit's line.
Yeah. All right. So Travis Kelce's a must start. Okay, believe it or not, the old man is a must start. Xavier Worthy. Hey, he's still kind of the number one. He's a start. A streaming option is Hollywood Brown streamer. And Thornton, listen, if you need a standardized leave, you need one touchdown or so, he may get you a touchdown. But you know what? If you're not 5-0, 4-1, and you can't afford to lose games, I'm not saying starting Thornton out there. That's my opinion.
This is going to be one of those games. You and I spoke about what is Kansas City's defense going to focus on. We spoke on the side where 2 weeks ago they focused on stopping Lamar. Last week we said the number one thing they would have to focus on is stopping the Jaguars' run. They did that.
They start and then I stop him. Amon-Ra.
This week they're going to go back to trying to stop the pass. You know, to me, it's like the old Patriot days. They focused on one guy to take away, and they took that one guy away. This week they're going to focus on who? Amon-Ra, or do they focus on the running backs?
I think they focus on
the running backs.
Yeah.
They're more dangerous. I think you give Amon-Ra all the money, all the in middle of the field stuff. He might be a PPR machine this week, but they just don't want him to beat him.
all right.
And I think they're more susceptible of getting a bigger run by Jahmyr Gibbs and they're going to try to stop the run.
So Amon-Ra is definitely stud.
I think must start stud this week.
Laporta is a start. Jameson, J-Mo, I'm not playing. I'm sitting J-Mo.
Nah, you know what? I think because you're going to stop the run, this might be you might get one of those games where he has 3 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown.
Okay. You're chasing points. You're
right. He's going to be one of those things where he's going to get a big play, and that's just going to be it for him the game.
It's almost like playing DraftKings or FanDuel. That's what it is with J-Mo. You put him out there, and you hope he's like that person that no one knows about. I know this guy. I'm going to put him in. Hopefully he gets some points. And then all of a sudden you look, he gets nothing. All right, he may, but I'm not chasing every day. I don't know. I'm not playing J-Mo. I have him. I'm not playing him. I'm sitting him. That's just me. You guys roll the dice. If you feel lucky, I don't know, go to Atlantic City, go to Vegas, whatever you want to do.
Well, some teams out there don't have the quarterback depth. And,
wide receiver depth.
Yes, the wide receiver depth. I'm sorry, and they have to.
Okay.
They have no choice but to throw him out there.
Then you temper your expectations with J-Mo. Hope for that big game, that 3 catches, 150 yards, 1 touchdown.
Ooh,
because
let's not go that far.
We all understand that he has that capability, but he's just not utilizing any offense. The 2 running backs you're starting over there with Detroit Lions. All right, next game is going to be Buffalo at Atlanta. It's in Atlanta. Let's go. What are we doing here? Bijan is a must start. Listen, Buffalo just lost to New England. Okay, it's
a New England who had a surprising good defense.
Yeah, let me tell you, Buffalo cut. They bleed. He's cut. They're cut. So the running back.
When we saw them, they beat the Baltimore Ravens, right? Mm-hmm. At the time we were like, oh, they beat a good team. Come now, the last few weeks, them losing, by big 40+ points. In my opinion, I think they met a good defense in New England finally, and they showed that they have problems on offense, or they could have problems on offense.
Well, I think Atlanta has a pretty decent defense. It's not that bad. Not bad. And let's talk about the fantasy. Michael Penix, he comes off a big week or a good week. Listen, he's startable if you have him. If you have nobody else, you can't start him. Bijan's a must start, obviously. Drake London's a must start. Mooney, I believe, is still injured, out there. And Kyle Pitts, you know what? You got to throw out Kyle Pitts out there because the tight end position is so small and it's kind of weak, So you would have to throw him out there.
Would you start Kyle Pitts over AJ Barner?
No, I'm starting AJ Barner because of the red zone targets. That's just me.
All right.
And
on Buffalo's side, I think you're throwing out there, obviously, Josh Allen. You're throwing James Cook, who had a dud of a game last week, but I think he comes back against Atlanta. You're throwing Shakir out there, Khalil Shakir, who's the only consistent wide receiver that Josh Allen throws to.
Kincaid's doing well, too.
Kincaid has come back into the fold. Keon Coleman is...
I'm sitting him.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I think I'm going to start him this week on my team, mostly because I have to.
You have to.
But, he needs to get his act together.
I agree with you.
Because he was in the coach's doghouse for a few weeks now. I don't know if you knew that.
So let me ask you this question. This is his second year, correct?
Yes.
So you, in your second year as your wide receiver, drafted in the first round last year's draft,
yes,
correct?
Yes.
What are we doing in doghouses?
They shouldn't be in doghouses.
He shouldn't be in doghouses. What are we doing? I'm not starting Keon Coleman. I think that Buffalo next year's draft, if Keon Coleman doesn't pan out, they're going to pivot and probably draft another wide receiver.
Well, Keon Coleman needs to realize that.
Yeah.
And then he's going to just basically blow his career because he wasn't being serious.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's what we have with that game. All right, last game.
Monday night game.
Chicago versus the Commanders. All right, 59 degrees, a slight chance of rain. I doubt it rained over there. Non-power winds, out of the northeast. All right, the Washington Commanders. They're coming off a nice little victory. This was the coming out party of Mr. Bill. All right, I'm not going to pronounce his whole name. Everyone knows who Bill is.
You don't know what his real name is.
Does Bill, is this finally, because this happened to Woody Marks. Woody Marks had a coming out party and they still split. Is this Bill's backfield?
Yeah, I think it's his Bill's backfield, and I think you're dealing with something a little different over in Houston. I think you're, and I told you this that day.
I think they're showcasing him.
Who?
Chubb.
No.
Just
no.
like Kamara.
They had a huge lead. There was no reason for a Woody Marks in there. I'm going to tell you how much of a lead they have. They put Damian Pierce in there.
That's pretty horrible.
All right, so let's not. We've been through that. Don't equate the two.
All right.
I think this is Bill's backfield.
How many carries does Bill get? He's a must start?
I think he's a must start.
I agree.
think he gets at least 15 carries.
That's fair. I
right?
do too. I think he's a must start.
And I think this is one of those games. If Washington's defense, yes, they look good against the Chargers, but the Chargers had a banged up offensive line. Are they going to have the same success against Chicago? Me personally, I don't think so. I think this might be one of those games where, again, you might be chasing points. Jaden Daniels still looks a little iffy with his knee, but that's even more reason why I think they're going to rely on Bill.
We're starting Debo. I'm not sure if Terry McLaurin does start. If he does start, it might be the wait one more week. I have Terry McLaurin. Listen, I have nobody else. I would have to throw him out there. But if you have somebody else, I guess it's one more week to wait and see because he needs to start clicking. All right. A lot of people drafted Terry. He had 14 touchdowns last year. What are we doing? He got paid $95 million. I know he's hurt. The quad. I get it. It's week 5. All right. As an owner paying a wide receiver $95 million and not playing, that doesn't sit
an
well.
owner who's paying $95 million is going to wait for his wide receiver that he's paying $95 million to he's not going to play him on an injured quad and possibly lose him for more of the season. He's not coming back till he's ready to come back.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I don't know if he comes back.
It's definitely going to be Debo. It's going to be Bill. It's going to be
Jaden Daniels.
Well, yeah, Jaden
Zach
Daniels.
Ertz, nothing. No targets last week.
Right, which was a surprising thing because they really don't. What other receivers do they have?
So I have a question.
McCaffrey got a deep ball, but
he only got
he's
3
not
targets.
the answer.
No. Let me ask you this question. They drafted Ben Sinnett, second year, I believe in the second round.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at that. I don't know what's going on in the background.
He's
over
definitely
there.
a sit. All right, he might be droppable in redrafts, dynasties. It's a stash, a super stash. Put him on the bench, put him on the bottom. Don't even look at him. All right, you just stare at his name and forget it. Keep it moving. On the Chicago side of the ball here, listen. Swift is obviously he's the starter. You got to start Swift, but you know what? I've been reading a lot of. There's a lot of rumblings out there that Swift, 3 carries, 3 yards per game. You know, it's getting a little frustrated with him. But you are going to start Swift. Rome Odunze is a must start. Caleb Williams is a must start. The tight end Cole Kmet or Colston Loveland. I guess you got to start Cole Kmet. Colston Loveland, you sit until you wait and see. That rookie tight end has not been on the field and they haven't been throwing to him. What are we doing?
But to your point, here's a week off. Another team with a week off.
Yep.
Have they
Finally realized?
figured anything out? You're not taking a guy at 10 overall
10.
and not putting him out there, at least starting a few games. I mean,
You got guys
What are you
drafted
doing?
in the 6th round producing. This guy's 10th overall in the 1st round.
you're going to have a guy who's a running back on the opposite line of
7th
scrimmage
round.
who is going to be the starter there as a running back.
in the 7th round.
Colston Loveland needs to get out there. I don't know if this is the week that he does, but no better time than after a bye week to work out some of your problems.
I just don't think you trust him yet. And, if you do have Colston Loveland, all right, I don't play him yet until you see how they utilize him, okay?
Oh, yeah, definitely big chance to try, fantasy-wise, to start him out there.
Yeah,
and
you don't start him out there.
hope that he's going to get something.
DJ Moore, I guess you temper expectation with DJ Moore. I just don't listen. He's not getting the volume out there with Rome Odunze. What are we doing with Luther Burton? You sit him. He's not startable.
He's another guy that we're going to have to wait for more consistency from.
So that's not who you start out there as well. So those are the guys. Caleb Williams, I think you start with confidence.
Yeah.
He's been very hot. So that's who we have for week number 6. Listen, we agreed to disagree on a couple of games here, how we feel about our games. How do you guys feel about your games? All right. Do you agree? Do you don't disagree? Whatever you want, you put stuff in the comment area. I like to hear it. I always respond back. I really do appreciate you guys listening to the show, week number 6, Studums and Situms. And hopefully,
number 6.
I know it's been week 6. It's going.
We wait all year for this, and it's going by like
It's fast. It's very, very fast. All right. And the season is slipping. The season is doing, if you're 2-3, you're still in it. If you're 3, if you're.
Yes, I think this is the week that, if you are 1-4 or 2-3, you're looking for some
magic.
some magic, some dart throws on the waiver wire.
Yeah.
Guys that, aren't being spoken about right now. That you know what? You still got a couple weeks before your season's completely lost. You might be taking chances on.
Yep, absolutely. All right, good luck on your week number 6 games, unless you're playing the co-commission myself. So you guys have a wonderful week, and hopefully we see you guys week number 7 starts soon. Be safe. Bye.